I don't know, it wasn't a podcast, it was like a show.
It was like an interview.
Rosenberg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw
it was like a podcast.
Yeah.
In person.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and so you were like doing your thing, and I was like, all right, so she could perform too. Like you're on like that track, like you're already good. Like so many, there's a lot of artists which like how I was for like 2 years, I didn't even perform. I wrote so many songs, I recorded so many songs, but I didn't perform at all, and because I was like scared, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you could like do that off the bat, like you're good. You're
Thanks.
so yeah, I got you. All right, here I'm just gonna send you this link. And then we'll start it off.
That's the link for the live?
Yeah, link for the live, yeah.
Okay. I just promoted it too on my story.
Awesome. Okay, I should have. Yeah, I just sent it to you in the direct message.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a lot, like, because right now it's just, we have, like, I want to say 4 people on our team, but we do most of the marketing and, like, the branding, which is the hardest part because it's, like, it's hard to focus on the music, like you said, when you have to promote and advertise and get ideas and book studio sessions.
I've spent $1,000 making an album to spend $0 to market it. And it was a good album, and people still fuck with it, but, like, 500-600 people fuck with it instead of 5,000-6,000 or
right.
50,000. You know, like yeah. So that's the hardest. Like for me, I just didn't think about it because it's not something I think about. Now I do because I work with artists. But yeah, it's brutal. It's like that. But now you have all the reach and all like the ability to do it.
Yeah.
Story. Yeah, this is like the worst part about the beginning of the podcast is you have to just like get all the links. See, I need somebody on the side. I need somebody like sitting like over there and like doing everything
right.
and putting all the
like
links
an assistant.
out. Exactly. I need a little assistant going on. That's not at my pay grade yet, but we're getting there.
Right.
We're getting there. I do it for free. I mean, I actually made $1. I made $1 off podcasting so far. So.
It's not bad.
It's $1.
I made $6 off music so far.
That's dope. Yeah, I made like 5. Who do you use to stream? Like, what do you like?
Distro.
Distro. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard good things about it. Is that one free?
No, it's not free. You have to pay like a yearly fee, but it's
Oh,
worth
that's
it.
like, is it yearly and then you can upload as many as you want? Okay, cool.
It's like,
yeah.
It's one artist, and I think it's like you can upload as many songs as you want, but like you can't do multiple artists. Like you can't do a group. Like
okay,
it's different packages.
So it's one. Oh, I see. So it's a package. I do TuneCore, so it's $5 a year for single, $10 a year for an album. But you could add artists. You could do as many as you want.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, so literally like all of them have a different way of finessing you. It's which way do you want to be finessed?
Right.
Do you want to pay one where you get all the music, but then you have to pay to be on Amazon Alexa? Like my stuff is on Amazon Alexa automatically through TuneCore, but I pay $5 a year for a single rather than paying $20 a year. So it's like that's another thing too. It's like artists should not have to figure that out. That should not be an artist's job. When you're independent, I feel like maybe, but since you're building a team, and we'll definitely get into that. But yeah, so we're live right now. Let me just make sure the audio's good.
I didn't get the link though.
You didn't get it? Oh, I sent it to you.
You sent it to my
Your
page?
personal
okay.
direct message. I'm pretty sure. Let me.
Oh yeah, I got it. I see
Okay,
it.
cool. All right, sweet. Last time, halfway through, I realized that the audio wasn't going. My friend Jasmine was on here with me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Jasmine." So we went like another 45 minutes with the audio, but I made sure this time nothing will fail. We're good.
That's good. It's good.
Yep. So I think we're good to just throw it up on the gram, and then hopefully, and we could check too, like see if people are saying anything too. 'Cause they'll be able to
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. You could like see it right now.
Whoa, legit, yeah.
I literally just like copied and pasted it and put it on Facebook, and then I could see myself. I'm about to send it to you.
See, that's the beauty of YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's legit.
Yeah, that's really dope.
we hook it up out here at BopCast, you know.
Right.
We do. We try to make it available for the general public.
All right. Just got 2 more places to put it.
I'm glad you are. I appreciate it. No, some people, because some of my friends will be on here or something, and they're just like, whatever. But I'm glad you're actually using it.
Of course. I want people to watch.
Yeah. And obviously, like I said, it'll be up on YouTube. It'll be uploaded in like probably like an hour, and then you can do whatever you want with it then, and then I'll get the audio up as well, which I usually slack on. But trying to get back in the game.
All right. Okay, we should be good.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I repost with you that thing. You going live on Instagram too?
I do sometimes, but my phone is at like not at 100%. It'll probably die. You can if you want. We could try to like set it up. Like I don't know. I could
Is
just.
this an iPhone charger?
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
I could put it right here.
Yeah, we've spent so much time trying to like get it before, like trying to get it right. Like okay, we're trying. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Do that, but let's try another account.
Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
All right, sweet. Yeah, have it on you. Some people come up and they're like, "No, I don't want to have it on." I'm like, "Then what are we doing here? You're on camera." Exactly. All right, we got the live. We got sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Here we are. All right, so this is BopCast episode 12 with Kiam and I. I really appreciate you coming on here. And your manager, he's off camera, but he's a good guy too for getting you up on here. And you guys are really, you're doing all the right things, it seems like, getting yourself out there.
Yes.
You know, she's an artist, she's a singer for people who are listening, watching. She has her first single out called Toxic Love, and you gotta just listen to it. Like I've said before, like, on this podcast, I'd like to get into people. I want to see who. I'd rather get into the artist rather than the music itself. So just type in Kia Manai anywhere and like all platforms, basically,
Yes,
right?
all
And
platforms.
you could hear her music, and then you can come back to the podcast. But yeah, so thank you. I really appreciate you coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime. So I guess the first thing I want to get into is like when did you just go through your history of like music, of writing or singing, or like where does it start, and like how did it get to where it is now? It's a big question, but
Yeah, it is. So,
but it's fine. We got a little time. So.
So, like, I grew up in performing arts and doing music and stuff like that. So I already like found myself and found my little music niche, but it was like this past October when I realized that I could like actually write music, and I had the potential to record music on my own because I was in a gospel group. So I was like doing music with them.
So that was your like basis for
yeah,
it, I guess?
I was doing.
You like found your voice a little bit
through
that?
the performing arts camp and then the gospel group. So I was doing that for a while, and then October came around. I was in the car one day and I was just like listening to a beat, and I just started writing to it. And then I'm like looking at the words. I'm like, hold on, this kind of makes sense. Like I was like, I could write a song. I was like, I could write a song. So after that, one of my friends was like, yeah, I know a guy who has a studio, like you should go record it. And I'm just like, okay. So that's when I met, my manager, and I was like, wow, like this is pretty fun. Like I like this. I want to do this full time on my own. So that's when everything came about, and I went through a really bad breakup, and that's how Toxic Love was developed. So after Toxic was developed, I was just like, this is real. Like I gotta go for it, and this is my chance to really like show the world that I can do this, and that's when I took that leap of faith, and I said, all right, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it hard and go full throttle.
You gotta do it. Yeah,
you have to. You can't just like put music out on SoundCloud and call it a day. Like it's so much more behind it. You gotta do your research. You gotta study, and that's this is the steps to the top. So
wow. So so you basically. So was Toxic Love the first song you recorded, or?
Toxic Love was the first song that I was comfortable putting out.
Okay,
But
so you
Toxic Love was
recorded
not
other
the
songs?
first song. Yeah.
How many other songs would you say?
Maybe like 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Like,
did you write other songs that you didn't record too, or like
Mhm.
what is your why did Toxic Love stand out to you? Was it the confidence that you had in it, or was it just the sound that you were going for, or why was that one different than the other songs?
It was definitely the confidence in the song. It was also the sound because I put more time and effort into it. The other songs that I had started, they were like play songs. Like, they just didn't really fit
They're
me.
like almost like placeholders, kind of like.
Yeah.
You have to write, like, I think so many artists they get caught up in like trying to write a good song. Like, you just have to write all the songs,
It has to come
and then
natural.
one of them is gonna be
It has to come natural, and like I said, I didn't have the intention of saying, okay, like right now I'm gonna start and be an artist. Like, it didn't come like that. It just came naturally, and I just wrote a song, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I got in the studio, so that's what got my feet wet with the studio. And then I was like, okay, well, all of a sudden this relationship failed, so I had to write a song about it, and that's when Toxic came out. And I had a couple other songs too that were potentially singles, but out of all the other songs, and being in the studio, some of my friends hearing it, they're like, Toxic, like, that's the one. So that's the one that stuck out to other people. So when Toxic stuck out to other people, I said, okay, this is the song I need to drop.
I think, that's an indicator of because I feel like as an artist too, you don't really know. You can have, like, for me, I have my favorite song on an album that I make, but it's never everybody else's favorite song. Or
Like,
it's
your
never the
favorite
most
doesn't
played.
matter.
Your favorite doesn't matter, and like, once again, like, artists get so caught up in like, this song has to be the one that blows up. And don't get me wrong, there's types like a Russ type, right? Like, Russ knew which songs were gonna blow up because he just has that or something. I feel like some artists have it, and other artists just kind of let the world do their thing, right? But yeah, but that's awesome. So you recorded this song, you sent it to some friends. They were like, all right, this is where I'm at. And then, so how did the team aspect come into it? Or like, how did you make a conscious decision of like, I need to start building something here? Like, or was it just release the song and then down the road that happened?
No,
or was it because of you?
Yeah, it was definitely like also the studio that I was recording at. And that's how I met Mike, like I said. So the studio I was recording at, he saw potential in me as well. And, he said, like, you really got it. Like, I want to help you, and I want to do more with you because I know you can go to the next level. So after I saw that someone else had that faith in me, and they saw the confidence that I didn't really see in the beginning, I said, okay, let me get myself together and let's start like planning this out. Let's walk it through. Cause like I said, it was in October, so we're now in August. 2018.
18. Okay.
Yeah.
So almost a year, I guess. Yeah. What, 9 months?
Yeah, like a couple months. So it's like, after time goes by, it's like, okay, well, you want to do this, like, now let's put the steps out, let's plan it out, and it's just. It's just been moving from there. We're still in the beginning stages, but like, we're definitely closer than a lot of other artists are because they don't know the importance of like marketing and selling yourself. It's like it's so
and
huge.
I don't have a lot of people on here that ask to come on. I usually just find them, and a lot of people do ask me to come on, and it's like, it's never anything personal, right? And I looked at your song, and especially like if an artist has like one song out, like, I'm always gonna check it out. I'm not like, I didn't make it. Like, I've made a lot of songs. I made hundreds of songs, but like, but for you, I was like, your voice, it seemed like for having one song out, like, it was so good. So I was like, I can't not, basically. Like, usually I would just be like, all right, like, I would have probably told you, like, okay, just come back in a year or 2 years, right? Like, when you have, I'm gonna still have this podcast, when you have a whole tape out or something. But I listened the first time, and then I listened like 5 more times in the car, and I was like, she's just got like what your manager probably heard and saw from you. He was like, okay, like, she's got it. Like, this is gonna be, the songwriting is whatever. You can wait, you could take years to develop that and build that up. You can have people help you, which I think is a really underrated thing. Obviously at the top it's not underrated, but for small artists it is. They think they have to write everything, every word. It's just not the truth. I think you'll almost always have a better product if you have the right minds whether you have 2 or 3 other people helping you write
Of course.
it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think that, like, people shouldn't put artists down for that. Like, if you look at anybody's song, if you look at all of Drake's song credits, it's like 13 people.
Right.
Like, if I change one word in your song, that's a song credit for me,
Right.
or on your track. So there's a little bit of like, you don't really, it's kind of gray area, right? But yeah, like the fact that you put that song out, and it, like, just the vocals that you just, like, you know how you sound.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, took me a long time. Even with rap, is like, I just didn't know how I was gonna sound. I could, like, do the words, but the actual sound of it, and
Right.
you have that. So was it, like, weird for you to, like, be in the studio recording, or was it, like, pretty natural to, like, hear your voice and just kind of sing other than going from the gospel to...
Yeah, because, like, we definitely recorded sometimes. We did songs for other people, like this one guy.
Okay.
He was from oh god, I don't remember where he was from, but he made a song about Ebola, so we had sang that in the studio. But, like, to hear myself, yeah, it was a little different. But I do know, like, the sound that I want to hear. And, like, we took forever to put Toxic out. Like, Toxic was supposed to come out like 2 months before we dropped it, I think, because it was just so many different things that happened. It's like, okay, you get ready to release a song, then it's like, all right, now you got cover art you got to think about. Now you got to make sure the sound is perfect. You got to make sure it's mixed and mastered the way you want it. Because once you put it out there, that's it. Like, yeah, you can take it down, but somebody can record it or, you know, screen record it, save it, whatever.
No, but the first impression, right?
Exactly. The first impression is the most important, just like a job. Like, this is my job, it's my career, so I'm gonna present myself the way I want you to view me. So that's what it is with music. You have to take your time with it. You can't rush it. Like, at the end of the day, sometimes it is overwhelming, and it's like, oh, I told everybody it was supposed to come out in May, and now it came out in this, but it's just like, you're the artist, you make the schedule. And
it's your product too. And I think like, this is gonna get into some, like, hippy dippy shit probably, which I try to avoid, but it's kind of like, it's not really, it's honestly just straight up business. Is like, right. I think you have to almost separate yourself from it.
You do.
Because, like, you can be Kia as, like, you're hanging out with your friends, but then you could also be, like, when you write a song, it's not even really you writing it. It's just what's happening, right? Like, it's really, at least for me, like, I don't know, you can, like, I'll have you talk about your perspective on it, obviously, but for me, it's almost like I have to be, if I just write some lyrics, it's like, I don't want to even be connected to those lyrics. Like, I just feel like it's like another part, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people or a lot of artists you find, like, that who are very professional, like, they act like that. Like, their music is just a different, it's like having another
like
version
alter ego.
Of you. Yeah, basically. So you don't have, so basically, like, I guess it doesn't justify bad behavior, but it also makes it so, like, if you made a lyric that somebody doesn't like, it's like, it's just, that's my music. That's not me.
Yeah.
That's my music.
Right.
So, like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you separate yourself from it, or, like, do you really identify with it? Or?
Well, I know from my first project that it's definitely gonna mostly be about me, and it's gonna be like an introduction to my life, my history, and just my experiences. I do want, like, my fans to have more closer connection with this first project, but I do also understand where you're coming from, and I do feel like you can write a song from another perspective. It doesn't have to be you.
Like J. Cole.
Yeah, like, you don't have to go through the situation to write about it, because other people are going through that, and if you can, you know, be the open book for them, like
the facilitator, basically.
Right, exactly. Then it's like, it's really appreciated from the other side.
So you touched on it a little bit. So the next step is an album, or
yes, the EP.
The EP. All right. How many songs do you think? Just because I'm a technical person.
Yeah, average is gonna be like 6 to 7 songs.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Are you taking a good amount of? Are you taking, like, a big group of songs and narrowing it down, or, like, what's kind of your, like, process?
So honestly, like, it's a little random. Like, I definitely have a whole collage of songs, but most of the time it happens, like, freely. Like, I'll be just in the room sometime, and I'm like, all right, I want to write a fast-paced song, and I'll write it, and I'm like, okay, this song is better than the last song. Now the last song is gone.
Yeah.
So it's like I keep writing, and then sometimes stuff I think that may be on there, maybe, and then sometimes other songs, like, I'm like, okay, I gotta put this in a little basket. But it's really just, like, just winging it and just seeing what I could create and how much music I'm able to develop, because I'm still, like, growing as an artist. So, like I said, I just started writing a couple months ago, so
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm still learning a lot, like, different melodies and things like that.
You're gonna realize, like, like how much like how where there's you're gonna get to what you probably do already is when you have one word and you're like, this word is the word that fits in the spot, and then somebody else is gonna suggest and like some other word, and you're gonna realize the value of changing one. Like there's so many little like minute details, it's crazy. And like I said, I'm not like a veteran, but like just the little things. But so that's cool. So you're kind of making it as you go. You're doing it, I assume, probably for the people that are listening, rather than like you just want them to have content, right, to listen to, or is it more it's like kind of explain it's kind of or maybe 50-50?
For the EP, it's definitely more than just the supporters. It's also like a way to branch myself and make myself what's the word that I'm looking for, like representable for my brand and like to labels, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to make myself valuable, so I want to get signed eventually, and so that's
a goal.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal, is to make myself a better version of me, so they can see potential in me and put some investment into me, because that's the goal.
Do you do this every day, or like
every day?
Are you writing every day? And
I don't write every single day because like I said, it is natural.
Like that gets like
sometimes it's
like to
overwhelming.
Get the inspiration. I feel like sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, right? That's what I try to do. Like I try to let it come naturally. Like different situations that I go through. If I'm mad, it's the best time to write because you can put all your emotions in a song. And I feel like you just have to be natural with it. You can't really force music like at all. You can't force it. But there are times where you could say, all right, I'm gonna put 4 hours aside. I'm gonna listen to beats and I'm gonna try and write something. So you can do that too. But most of it is natural. Like I just let it come.
What about the beats? How did you find the beat for Toxic Love?
The beat I actually had an engineer make for me. He had already had a couple beats, and then I picked one and I was like, I like this, and just wrote on it. But most of them I find off of YouTube. Yeah. And just write to them.
Yeah, when I'm in the studio with people, that's mostly what it is. Yeah. I find that unfortunately, like maybe this is like, I don't know, maybe just artists don't. Most beginning artists don't like sitting down with a producer for like 3 hours, and I think I find a lot of value in that. I think that's what I think. Getting YouTube beats is fun. I did it. Like everybody's done it. I put a whole EP together with free YouTube beats. Like that was my first thing I ever released. But like now I realize like wow, like if you could find a producer that's on your team now that knows your sound and that can like evolve with you, like that. So would you consider that, or do you have any producers that
I would definitely consider it. I am still like dabbling with producers and engineers and stuff, but I definitely would. I would love to be in the studio all day, all night, just sit there, like make a whole beat and I could write to it. I definitely would love to vibe in the studio like that for sure.
Yeah. So you're really like, your main focus is, you're not concerned about like money right now. Like I assume, like with like you're not trying to. Your goal isn't to. You'd rather have like really loyal fans and like build a fan base and release the music you want to release, rather than like, I guess, because some artists
money off of it?
Rather than make money off of it. Yeah. I think some artists maybe are like kidding themselves. They think that they're gonna just blow up and then just make a lot of money. Yeah, and I think that's just not the wrong attitude to have. That's a great attitude as well. Some people just need a lot of money and that's what they want, and that's what's gonna fuel and drive them. But so what's your like take on that? Like where are you at?
Of course, like the money is the end goal. Like everybody wants to live comfortably, but my goal right now is just to have someone invest in me, like financially, because when it comes to studio sessions, if you really want a good sound, you got to pay big money for it, like $300 to $400 a session, sometimes even more, if you want somebody to really produce good music for you. So that's just my drive right now, and my goal is just to make myself presentable for someone to want to invest in me and put some money behind it, because I know the steps to take to get to where I want to go, and my team, like we're doing what we got to do. So that's just really what the goal is right now, is to find someone to believe in us as much as we believe in us and invest in the team.
Invest in it, facilitate, which is hard. Which is hard. I see like I've seen managers, like I said before the podcast, like I've seen people dump 20 grand into somebody, and to do that is like, you have to have so much faith in that person. And you have to go down with them, up with them. You have to go to the studio with them. Like I know a guy who has a day job, and his grandfather was like dying of cancer, right? And he had already taken $20,000 and put it towards this artist, right? Like, he had to basically make this life decision of, what do I want to do, right? And like, it literally, and sometimes it does come down to a decision that big. And like, this shit, like, obviously you're not messing around. Like, this isn't like your SoundCloud. Like, you're here, you're on a podcast, so like, you're good. As far as to like give myself a little plug, but for real, the long form content is coming up. But yeah, you guys are going out there, you're going to these shows, you're emailing, he's emailing people, DMing people, getting people out there, like, or getting yourself out there, and on all these publications, which also, I guess a lot of artists don't do either. Like, they always just go to the studio.
They don't.
Or they go to the which, like, I'll go to the studio by myself. Now I kind of have some people that I like to have around me to check me.
Right.
To basically be like, dude, that line sucks. Like,
right.
And then I think it's dope. Because,
Yeah.
like, you think I think all my lines are dope. Like, everybody does, right? And then until you listen to it 500 times, and then you're like, I hate that song.
I hate that song,
Like,
yeah.
I bet you with Toxic Love, you're like, I love when people send me videos and then listen to, but it's like, if it comes on, like, if my stuff comes on now, I can't even. I don't even want to think about it, you know? Like, I don't.
Because you don't listen to it so many times.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm like over it now. I'm like, oh, did I really make that? Like, I hope my shit now is like so much better. and so it's like a constant evolving thing. But so like what advice would you have for somebody that is just, I guess, doesn't even have their voice, but thinks that it's something they want to do? Like, they just want to write music, but they haven't yet, or they want to record, but they haven't yet. Like, what is your advice?
I would just say, like, find your niche, whether it's going to be vocally or you're writing, or you want to do both. If you want to be a songwriter, I would just say take your time, do your research, listen to other songs that you really love. You know, just study the patterns of other people, because, like, at the end of the day, everything that you want to do, 9 times out of 10, has already been done. So all you have to do is do your research and figure out how they did it and how you can do it better. So that's what I would say, is just, you know, have faith, be strong, and just don't give up. Like, do everything that you could possibly do every day. Like, anything, whether it's listening to music just to feel out different melodies, or whether it's singing in the shower just to see if you could really sing. If you feel like
that's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, like, if you feel like you can't sing, YouTube is very accessible. You can go watch vocal videos. Like, there's so many ways to learn.
So many.
Yeah, you just have to teach yourself. Like, education is the key.
So have you so this is like, you would consider this is what you do full time now, or
Yeah,
is it
definitely full time.
like did you go to school, or did you, like, what is your like background? Like, how'd you get here, basically?
So I went to high school, then I went to college for like a year and a half, and then after that I was just like, I really want to do music and I want to focus on it. Like, I feel like college isn't my path, and I was like, I could do it, I could finish and graduate, but I just wasn't happy. And at the end of the day, it's like, you only live one life, you only get one time to be here, from what I know. Like, maybe reincarnation and stuff, but you only get one time to be here. So it's like, you have to live the way you want to. You can't, you know, be upset and be sad because your parents are telling you go this way, go that way. At the end of the day, you have to follow your dreams, because who's going to pay your rent? Who's going to take care of your family when you get married? Who's going to feed your kids? Nobody but you and your family. So you got to make a foundation for someone to, you know, want to be in your life. You got to make sure that you're stable. So that's what I would just suggest, is that you just, you know, go for it, whatever you want to do, whatever your dream is.
What is your family, like, how do they feel about it, or like the people that are close to you?
So like, in the beginning it was a little rough. Like, my parents, they knew I was always into music, but like, they wanted me to go to school. And
they want the best for you.
Yeah, they want the best for you. And it's like, okay, if I go to college and I do business management, what am I going to do after?
Actually, yeah.
Is it really?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, what am I going to do after?
I feel the same.
I don't want to be in an office.
I'm not going to be an accountant at all.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I'm never going to be an accountant.
I can't sit behind a cubicle. Like,
I'll bet somebody $1 million I'll never be an accountant.
Right, like, I want to be that face on their phone they're watching while they're at work. Like, I don't want to be the one at work watching somebody else. Like, I want them to be watching me. So
it took them a little bit of, like, little time to, like, come around, but they're supportive of it?
Yeah, they're really supportive now, because they see that I took the time and the
and you're serious.
Yeah, and the energy to, like, really dig in and like go
You didn't.
full
It was
throttle.
not like just an excuse to leave college.
Yeah, exactly. They see like, okay,
you're doing this on a Sunday.
She has a
like,
goal.
Exactly.
She has a vision.
You didn't take the day out. Like I worked 4 hours this morning. Like you're here
right.
doing this, promoting it on a Sunday. Most people would be like, some people would be like, oh, sorry man, Sunday I need to drink beers with the boys or whatever the fuck. Like,
no, this is my beer.
This is your shit. Yeah, straight up, right? That's
this
awesome.
This is my beer. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I like to get into that of like. I think a lot of times, obviously, like we said, like your family always wants the best for you, but they don't know what the best is, and neither do you.
Sometimes
most
you
of
don't
the time.
either.
Like,
yeah.
neither do I, but you know as good as you know what's gonna make you happy, and like for you not basically, you know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but basically it seems like you couldn't not do this.
Right.
Like you would feel so much worse about not doing it than doing it, obviously, right?
Yes.
And like you're gonna have the ups and downs. What has been like the biggest challenge of that transition, going from say college life to pursuing music?
I think the biggest challenge would just be like not working right now because I'm so used to always having money in my pocket and like being able to save and stuff like that. But it's like every dollar I get goes straight to music, whether it's like paying for business cards or, you know, like putting a single out, different
There's
stuff.
always
Like
something to buy.
you have to pay for everything.
There's always something.
So it's just like that's the only like challenge that I actually face.
Is like the actual lifestyle change of it, because we all have friends and we all, you know, I'm not the type of person to like, you know, go buy a name or you know, go buy like whatever, like a Gucci like belt or something. Like that's just not me, right? But there's people that, you know, will be like, hey, you want to like go out for drinks? It's like, I'm sorry, but like I honestly do need to save this $20.
Right.
And
exactly.
that I feel like is so hard at our age to make the transition of like to not
budgeting.
Budgeting, like not saving, and basically being like, I'm sorry that I'm no fun, but in 10 years this is going to make sense to all you guys.
Right.
And so many people are living in the 1 year, like I have 2-year goals, 5-year goals, and 10-year goals.
So true, yeah.
And like even 20-year goals right now. And that aren't etched in stone, but they're there, and I'm still trying to make the conscious effort to that. But so
you want to know something though that was hard for me as well, was the friends thing. Like I lost a lot of friends in this process because they didn't understand like the value that my music has to me. So like basically I would be like, okay, I can't go out today, I have to go to the studio, I have to write, or it's like I gotta go to rehearsal. Like if I'm bringing you guys to rehearsal, we all gotta be focused. Like, you know, I'll bring you with me, but just be quiet. And so it's like I lost a couple of friends with this music industry, but it also taught me the value of like a genuine friendship. You know what I'm saying? And like
and somebody that can literally just be like somebody who can be your best friend,
right,
and say, I don't even need to see you it doesn't matter. You can't go out, don't come. Like
okay,
save your money. Like right, having those friends makes it so worth it.
And people who support you also. Like you could have the closest friend to you come over your house every day, and then you drop your podcast tomorrow and they don't even watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like you need friends like that are gonna support you, push you.
We should go into expectations too from that, because I have this song on my last EP called Expectations, and like it's just basically about how like people don't expect you to like do anything. And then, like, when it comes, like, they expect me to just go through the motions and go through my life. But, like, they basically, like, other people's expectations can't. It's very cliche, but it's just true. Like, other people's expectations shouldn't really influence, like, what you're doing. And, like you said, there's so many people that I'm friends with that don't watch this. There's a lot of them that do. And there's people that don't know me, have never met me before, and they will literally message me like, hey, like all the time, I love this episode, I love this part about it, right? And that's the reason I do it. But you can't, like, for me, with music in the beginning, I started doing it because everybody around me convinced me to do it, and because they all listened to it. But 4 years later now, they're all doing their own thing. You know, it's not as cool as it was anymore.
Right.
But I can't expect them to stay. I can't expect them to listen to the same music or even like my music. So I think, like, have you found that, like, has there ever been a time where, like, you thought somebody was gonna or you sent them your music or something and they just like didn't, or somebody just didn't get back to you on it, or like, have you ever had that like happen to you?
not get back to me. Like when I sent my song,
it like wrong, but you kind of know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I sent it out to so many people, like Instagram, Snapchat. Like I sent it everywhere, even text messages.
I do the same, yeah.
I sent it every freaking
where.
where. But like what I did notice is that the people that I expected to repost and promote and advertise my music, that was like drooling over the song before it came out and saying, "Oh my God, when are you gonna put it out?" Da da da. And then when I drop it, it's like, okay, well, why didn't you repost it, or why didn't you like tag someone or do something? So that's what I did like face a little bit, was maybe like 4 or 3 friends like that I noticed.
And that's the expectations. Like you almost like expected them to do that. Like I would too. Like you're in that position.
Because you're like, I would do it for you.
They hype you up so much,
right?
And you
so
would do it for them.
Exactly. So that's the little confusing thing about it. But like I had so much love and so much support from so many people that like it just showed me like, okay, this is their true colors. So I know who to keep around me and who not to. Because when you start elevating, you start really getting busy, making money, doing things, like you can't have those type of people around you. You gotta have people that really genuinely care about you.
Some people will try to pull you the fuck down.
Oh yeah.
They will try to They will try to take you with them. Wherever they're going down, they're not going in the right way.
Drag you right
they're
with
trying to drag and keep you down there. And it's like not a lot of people. Like it's literally 1 or 2 people, but sometimes they win. Like sometimes they drag people down, and you gotta. And it's like. It's basically the thing, like, you know, you're an average of the 5 people you spend the most time around.
Right.
And if I spend my time around, like, people who are working for themselves, people who are writing music, making music all day, it's like you're going to get into that mindset rather than just your friends.
Right.
Of, like, because, I don't know, like, my friends, like, my best friends don't do that. Like, they don't do podcasts, they don't make music, they don't create. They are going to school for architecture, they're going to construction, man. Like, they're going to get a job, a 9 to 5, and with nothing wrong with it. That's their goals, that's what they love doing. But there is a part of it that they couldn't really ever understand, I think. And, like, that's not them, they're not wrong. I'm just doing my own shit, right? Like, so I really think that you're setting a good example for people too.
Thank you.
And like truly, because like I don't know, like I didn't stop doing, like I do everything that I do, but I never stopped going to college. I never stopped. Like I feel like people don't have the confidence to like uplift and change their life like you did, and so you must have a lot of faith, like, in yourself and like that you're gonna, and obviously your team.
Yeah.
But does that like come into it too? Like, you're like, there's not a doubt in your mind, right?
No, because like I think about like the 2 paths that I could possibly be in. It's like I could either be in school right now learning and then get a job and then just live a regular life, or I could be like chasing my dream and really going after what I really desire and what I really want to do. So it's like I don't see that at all for myself. Like I only see one path.
It doesn't play into the...
No, it's only like one lane, and that's music, and that's making it. After that, I want to open so many different outlets, like when it comes to, you know, foundations for helping other countries, businesses, you know, just everything. Like even
so like what if you... All right, I'm gonna ask the question of if you didn't have the fame, right? Like right now, if you're still at the same level you're at, but you had the money, like say you had like $1 million, like, or whatever amount of money it would be, like what would you do with that? Like would
invest
you
it.
You would invest
invest it and make sure it flips, and so I could have more
See,
money.
you're so like you are like on target, like
Yeah.
you're good, like you have that mindset.
Yeah.
See, this is like for people listening and watching, like this is the winner's mindset. These are the people that make it, the ones that
know
like
what to do with the money. You can't just have it and just spend
you know that
it.
so many, you know that a lot of people will be like, well, you know, I gotta buy this and I got the first thing, if the first thing you're gonna do is buy things, like you already lost, like you'll never be a millionaire,
Right.
you know. And like there's nothing wrong with buying a boat, there's nothing wrong with buying a Maserati, like
Right. You just
some
gotta
people
know
need
when.
that for motivation. I
Yeah.
think that's great, and that's like a life thing, that's like an achievement, right? But if you're doing it just for that, I feel like you're never gonna win. If you're doing anything just for the money, it's gonna suck. Like it's just gonna suck. You're not gonna feel like you're doing it for yourself.
Right.
I guess is for me to go off
Honestly,
on a little
like
tangent.
my goal is to like leave a mark on this earth and, you know, create a foundation so the people after me are stable. like for my family.
Like 3 generations.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want my family to be able to have enough money to go to college, do whatever they want to do. Like if you want to freaking make skateboards, you got money to make skateboards. But like you know the steps that it takes to use the money and how to invest it in different things. Like even if you have $200, how are you going to use that $200 in 1 month? Can you make it work?
And so many people will
spend it. Some people can't.
Some people will, and like we've all done it. Like we've all had a little extra money and just went out and spent it and did
buy what you want. Yeah.
And got what you wanted. But and I think I just came across this recently there's so many ways that you can save money, and people are always trying to tell us to save money. Nobody's trying to tell us to make more. I think we have to take saving is very important. It's the foundation of your financial life is saving money. That will set you up when you're 60. That's saving. But at the same time, we're learning money from the wrong people. We're learning money from people who don't make a lot of money. Right. So it makes no sense. It's like learning how to drive a race car from somebody who just drives a Ford Focus every day.
Right.
It's just not the same. So I think that like you have the right idea of if you had the money, you would make more money with the money. You wouldn't have less.
Use it all. Yeah, I would take half of it and invest it so more money could keep coming in because that's the only way to do it.
And that's an example of the $200 thing is like you can make $20 or $200. You know, you could go on Facebook Marketplace. You could buy 4 Nerf guns, and then you could sell them on eBay and make $20. And now you have $220.
Right.
So where most people are $200, let me just go buy $200 worth of stuff. No, you can make $20 with that, and then with that $220 you can make $30, and then with that $230 you can make. So it's like
keep it going.
That it's the mindset though. Like I guess getting in that financial, and that's good that you think about that too, because I feel like that's another thing. Like a lot of artists aren't supposed to. We're just not taught it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't taught how to really save money. I was taught that it was good. Try to. But nobody taught me hey, there's a 401k. There's this. I don't know what that is.
Right.
Nobody taught us. But
it's definitely rough. Like I just know that I just take the time out. Like if I'm just sitting on the bed doing nothing, I'm on my phone watching videos on how to do this, how to stay focused, how to stay motivated, how to just keep watching videos and educating yourself. And that's honestly the best way to go. Like you can invest in so much stuff. You can invest in people that are making inventions, like Shark Tank what is it called, Shark Tank or something like that. Yeah, like people are making stuff and you could put $3 behind that. Like we all have stock markets on our phones, iPhones.
I know. I'm on Robinhood. Like I've lost in game money, but it's like the actual just that being in the back of my head. I think that's what it is. Like get Robinhood, put $50 in it, let it chill, watch it, see what it does.
Right.
Because then you get it in your mind of then you kind of know how it works. Then but we're not even taught to do that.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And also do you think that the things that we see on our phones all day are like influences what you said, you're gonna go watch a YouTube video on how to do something or educate yourself. But I think so many people get caught up in they just want good memes,
yeah, it's this generation is really tied in. You just get accustomed to what you see. Like you see a perfect body, or you see nice cars, and you think that, oh, I should have that. But it's how do you get that? You're not doing what it takes to get there.
How did they get that? Nobody knows.
Right. Some people, they take the wrong steps and just use their body to get closer to money or whatever. But most of the time they think that it's just a foundation from their family. Oh, their family have money, so that's why they have money. Some people actually take the time and they work hard every single day. That's why for me, I'm working on being more active on my story and stuff and showing my face more, but it's I'm always working, I'm always busy. I don't have time to just hey guys, da, 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 da.
Yeah, here I am. Yeah,
I'm always,
even though that's important, it's at the same time you want to be in the moment.
Yeah.
Right? If you were sitting here, if we were both sitting here just doing stories the whole time,
right?
This conversation wouldn't have gone this way, right? So
of course not.
Yeah, but there's that part of it too. Is it tough for you to be as involved in even the social media marketing side of it? Is it tough for you to try to do both? Does the management help? Does Mike help with that?
Yeah, he definitely helps with the business page, and then I take care of my page and some of the business sometimes. But like it is tough because I still have a life. Like I still have to write, I still have to market, I still have to do this and that. And then it's like sometimes I may be having a bad hair day, but I still got to promote, so I'll just like upload an old video or stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes it is really hard to like
It's the time
stay
thing,
active.
I think,
Yeah, it's hard, but it's really about consistency and just like trying to take what you have and make it more. Like even if you have 5 shirts, like take one of the 5 shirts and tie dye it and make it a different shirt next month or something. You know
There
what
you
I'm
go.
saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just find ways to keep going and just never give
Do you
up.
plan on, like, just since you mentioned it, do you plan on doing merch or?
Of course.
Yeah, because, like, that is what saved me. Like, my people, like, my fans, my small number of fans, they made me all the money back for my album almost. And it's
Wow.
like, from me, barely, I didn't even advertise any of it. Like, it was just, like, I think it's the thing, like, people are going to buy into you.
Right.
Because you do it. They don't care about what the shirt looks like.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like, as long
Right.
as it has your name on it, right? Or it has something that has to do with you. It's from you.
Mm-hmm.
People buy into the why you're doing it. They don't care about, like, all the other stuff.
Right.
Like, most people don't even care about the time that you spent in the studio or the time you spent writing. Like, and that's because people want to glorify that, too.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm, like, a brilliant writer, and I just, like, nobody even cares. Like, nobody, like, they just care about the finished product, you know? And so, like, that's what you have to focus on. But yeah, that's awesome. Definitely do merch.
Definitely.
If you need a good designer or distributor, I have people I've used, like in Philly, people who have worked with and for and engineered for, like, very high level artists and who are just really, like, nice people. So I can hook you up.
That'd
if
be
you're thinking
great.
about doing that.
Yeah, for sure. Because we have so many ideas, like, jotted down in the binder and everything, but we just need like a graphic designer to really draw out something just so different and unique and like just awesome.
This is like really like simple. Like my logo is like really simple, but it gets a job. Like that's just it. It's just me. But yeah, you'll find something that works for you. I had my friend Beej Links. He's been on this podcast before. He's a engineer as well. Engineer, producer, singer, like the whole nine. And like he helped me design it, so maybe we can, even if you have, I don't know. What I didn't do was get like different designs. I would do that too.
Oh yeah.
I would like, even though it's gonna cost some money, you could literally go online, like on freelance websites, and just be like, hey, I have $35, and then spend $35 3 times, get 3 different logos, and then pick the best one. And then, like, I think that people should do that for music too. Like, have 3 people master your song.
Right.
I've never done that, but I think that I will now because you don't know how they're gonna make it sound.
Yeah,
right?
That's pretty cool. I like that idea. Like having more people work with it and see what they can do.
Yeah, because you don't know. Yeah, I've never I never realized you could do that until now. Like I realize now, like I love like my friend Beej, like he made my logo and it's dope. But my other friend Amelia, she makes custom like artwork, like custom, like she made this shirt, like this is like stamped on there, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, nice.
So then I had her like, you do your thing now. Let's make 10 shirts. You try, let's see what you could come up with, right? And like you back to the tie dye. She made all tie dye, all different colors, and so I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like she just took what I had already and then made it her style. And add their
little twist on it.
Yeah, so I think that's important too. Definitely collaborate with all different types of artists.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'm just DJing somewhere, and a guy like the other night, a guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, I do all the murals in this city. If you ever need somewhere to do an open mic or you need some designs or something, just hit me up." Like that person, like always text them the next day, always call them or whatever, because like you never know. Like they might meet the person that takes your music to the next level or something, right? Like
networking's definitely good.
Yeah, that's huge. Have you been doing that too?
Of course, yeah. Always networking. Like I'm just working on like getting myself out there more, like you said, open mics and stuff like that. I just want to have a little bit more content because I want to be able to perform more songs that I release. So that's why we're really working hard on getting this EP out there. So
you want it to be really good, like take your time to the point where like you don't feel like you're rushing it, but you also really do want the content out. I feel you. If I were you too, I would plan content for like just years out. Like I've been working on albums for like that aren't going to be out for like 2 years, you know? So I would definitely do that too, because then you have more of like, you could visualize it better in your mind, I think. But that's just my perspective. I don't know. It doesn't work.
I like that idea because you're like prepared for it. So when the time comes, you already know like this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's ready.
You can even set exactly. This is what and you can even set. I want to have 5,000 fans in, this month of 2020 or whatever. Right? You get there, you have 4,000. Then you regroup with Mike and your entire team. You go, okay, why didn't we get here? What else can we do to? So then now you have like a responsibility thing, and you can just make it. You can get that consistency of like find all, which like this is all things that I never thought about. Like this is all things that I learned from managers, people who own, recording companies and labels, and like all these different little like aspects of being an artist that I don't think about. You probably don't have to want to think about, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to think about that stuff, but it is important, especially
Very
like
important.
goal setting. So, but we talked about that a little in the beginning. But like, so what is your goals for say like the next year, or like a couple years out or something? Like, are you thinking about them, or is it just release the music?
It's like my goal right now is really like to the end of this year because it's so much that could happen before 2020 is over. So it's like it's hard to set goals for the next year because then I feel like I'm limiting myself if I say like, okay, I want like another project out, or I want to collaborate with this person, and it's like, but no, you can do this too. You could be on magazines, you could be in you can try and get on Summer Jam, or like there's so much you can do. So I try not to think too far, but like I do think business wise, like what do I want to have out, like what kind of merch do I want to develop, like what brand do I want to build, like different things like that I do think about for the 5-year plan. But for this year, it's just getting the music out, getting these videos out, like music videos after the songs are out.
Huge too.
Music videos, and then just working on marketing and building my team. Like that's my goal for this year, is to build a team. So when next year comes, like we got everybody in place, we know what to do. It's like, all right, we got to get here, we got to get there. Like that's the part I'm ready for. Like,
awesome.
I want to be super busy.
You're honestly like, if I'm gonna just give you my like, you're good. Like you're gonna go somewhere with this, like 100%, because you just. Especially because your voice and the mindset as well, like not even just the music, but like you actually being, you're going to play, even though, it might not be your job, I know you're going to play a role in the entire, like, organization of everything. Because you have the mindset. But I want to thank you for coming on here. It's been an awesome conversation. I think this is great. Anytime. Anytime. I'd love to have you back. Maybe in like a year or something. Maybe when you release your tape, if you want to promote that or something, just come back. And so this has been BopCast episode 12. Thank you, Kia. It's been great. Anytime.
I had such a good time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, that's it, folks. So
that was fun.
So we're on every single platform. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Anchor, FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, even the ones nobody uses. This is my end spiel. You guys probably turned it off by now, but if you didn't, then this is what you get. But this is Kia Manai, ladies and gentlemen. This has been episode 12. Thanks for tuning in.